I'm Sister Cecilia Palangi, better known as Cease. I belong to the 15th Street Community, ICM, in New York City, Manhattan. And we're about to talk about Elaine, one of my dear friends. I met Elaine at the Park Christie meeting in Greenwich Village. We used to meet once a month, and then as people got older, moved away, or died, that Greenwich Village meeting stopped. So now we go to general meetings or whatever Pax Christi presents. Now, together, we go or meet at the Pax Christi meetings, at the Catholic Worker of Dorothy Day. Every Friday night, they have a wonderful talk, always on a different subject. And we go to the interfaith. They have overnight retreats twice a year. We meet all kind of cultures and faiths there. And then there's all kind of different conferences in New York City. And since we both have the same interests, we either meet there or go together.
I first met Sister Cecilia
Now,
Palangi over 20
what
years
I
ago at the local chapter meeting of Pax Christi, Metro New York. We were a small group of about 8, 10 people, and we would have different activities. And I started to see Cecilia at all these different activities: anti war rally, prayer services, candlelight vigils, and we started talking to each other, and that's how we got to become friends. I am second generation Chinese American. I was born here. My parents are born in China. My name is Elaine Chan. I'm the oldest of 7 children, 6 girls and a boy. Uh, I grew up here in New York City. My parents had a laundry store when I was growing up, and I had responsibilities caring for my siblings as well as taking care of the laundry store. I was baptized Catholic when I was only a baby, and I was enrolled in parochial school at Our Lady of Pompeii in the West Village. I have 2 masters, once in social work, once in divinity. I work at New York Hospital, Queens. It's a big hospital, um, and it's a new job for me. I've been there less than a year. Previously, I was a chaplain for over 9.5 years at a smaller hospital in Brooklyn. And New York is very ethnically and religiously diverse. In Brooklyn, I had a lot of Jewish patients because it was a Jewish hospital, a lot of Orthodox Jewish patients, and I learned to speak a little Yiddish. I learned a lot about Orthodox Judaism. There's also was a lot of Russians there. I learned some words in Russian and learned about the Russian culture. There were a lot of people from the West Indies, and which I think the sisters could relate to because they have their missions in the West Indies, um, as well as folks that have been here for generations from European background. But in my new job, there's a lot of Asians as well as Latinos from various countries. Like, so today I had a patient from Burma, and I had who was a Christian, and he told me they're persecuted there in Burma. I also had patients from different parts of South and Central America, and as well as a lot of Chinese patients. So linguistically, I've been really challenged. I'm very close to several communities. At one point, had discerned a vocation with missionary community. And what makes, I guess, ICM sisters different is that because they're so close geographically to me, and because they've been so open, and because of my relationship with CEAS, I've gotten to know them more intimately.
Well, we share so many of the same interests: religious, social, political, and of course, the pastoral care, of which she's involved in. So there's so much that we have in common that there's enough to keep us together and have very interesting dialogues. Now, Elaine comes very often to our 15th Street community. She is always very welcome there. And she has shared with us our prayers, our experiences, and our meals together. And I must say, she's spoiling us tremendously with the frequent treats she brings us of all kinds.
I also like talking to Sister Cecilia at the house on 15th Street. I'll tell her about my day and my work, and she's a very good listener. She says I like to talk a lot, which makes me kind of embarrassed, but she's such a good listener. And since she also has done hospital chaplaincy work, she can relate to a lot of what I'm telling her about, and she gives me some insight into the work that I do. So that's really has been a big support for me, since in my last job I was pretty much working on my own. There wasn't any other chaplain around, and she's just been very good to me in that way. I like coming to the house on 15th Street and visiting Sister Cecilia and the sisters. Actually, their house is really close to my house, but the sisters are just really, really hospitable, and I'm really grateful that for their friendship. On holidays, they always invite me over for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and uh, Christmas Eve, after going to the midnight mass, we come home and then we open presents. And they always have a present for me, which I don't really expect, but it's really nice that they do that. So I have a great time.
What I appreciate and admire about my friend Elaine is her friendship, especially her sharing, her confidence, her generosity, her willingness to volunteer. Whenever we're at a meeting and they say, "Do we have any volunteers?" Who's the first one to pop up from her seat but Elaine? And she's so committed especially to her patients, since she's a pastoral care person, and the welfare of her people, both spiritual and otherwise. And she's always ready to attend a worthwhile conference. And so am I. So there we are together.
I told Sister Cecilia that my brother said that she was my BFF, and she didn't know what that was, and I was surprised because she has so many BFFs. And I told her BFF means best friends forever, and she was tickled pink. She was so happy to hear that. Another friend of Cecilia's and I said that we are Bopsy twins, that we have this so much in common, that we are like twins. Even though there's an age difference, we both like a lot of the same things. We like ice cream. We like going to McDonald's and getting apple pies. We like going to different events where they have food, and we like to have go on walks in the city and explore different places. We once went to the Coney Island and we walked along the beach. That was very nice.
So, Elaine, I consider you a mission partner with our ICM community. You do beautiful ministry. Keep it up, and God bless you.